Okay, so what exactly the Jenkins? Okay, and see, there is not much theoretical to learn in the Jenkins. What we learn, will know what exactly the Jenkins in and why. What is the uses of the Jenkins and why we need it. If you understand that, and you can do whatever you want. Okay, so first thing, let's see what exactly the Jenkins is. So Jenkins is a free and open source automation server which is entirely written in Java. So it is actually a Java application. It is entirely built and developed in Java. It is a Java application. It is entirely free and open source automation server. This will act as a server. You cannot say it is a simple single tool only, Jenkins tool. You can say it is an automation server, okay, which act as a tool also. So what it does, it helps automating the parts of software development related to building, testing, deploying, and facilitating continuous integration and continuous delivery. Okay, so mostly it is being used for continuous building, testing, and deploying or delivering the softwares, the applications, whatever we do. So far, if the traditional way, what the developer is to do, if you see if the traditional way, people in organization, the developer will entirely build, entirely write the code, develop the application or develop the software. Then what he has to do, he has to do the unit testing and all, right? To do the quality check, to do the code check, and what if everything is working fine or not, right? The unit testing will be there, and then he has to build the entire, there are a lot more other quality checks, testings, and all things are there. Then build software build will be there, right? He has to build the product, he has to build the application, and the end product he has to deliver it to some staging server or testing server to do further testing. So that was lots of manual intervention and manual procedure. It takes quite lots of time. Okay, if you are for reoccurring, if something has to be done again and again, so it will take lots of time, right? So using the Jenkins automation server or Jenkins tool, we can automate and facilitate those things, whatever was done manually by a developer or by a tester. Same thing we can do in the Jenkins. So if you see in the traditional way, also we had different build, specific build engineer to build specific applications, right? Developer will be there, build engineers will be there, right? Testers will be there, a lot of other resources will be there, or people employees will be there to do their part and for the entire application and software development life cycle, right? So we can, using this Jenkins, we can entirely automate all these stuffs. And Jenkins is the most widely adopted solution for CI and CD. So we can use for the CI CD term is most commonly used in the DevOps market. CI is for continuous integration and CD for, you can say, continuous delivery or continuous deployment. So when we do continuous delivery, like whenever we deliver a product or an application to a testing or staging environment for further testing, that will do a delivery, right? We are just delivering, or we are delivering the product to a repositories, to a binary repository, to a artifactory, to an artifactory. So what will happen, those part we call it as continuous delivery. Okay, continuous delivery. And if we are going to deliver those things to the production environment, that we call as deployment, right? We deploy the product or application into the production environment. So our application will be running in the production environment. Now let's see a small diagram on the Jenkins flow, how it works actually. Now the developers has to only focus on, okay, what we get this benefit. Okay, let me just explain this structure and I'll show you the benefits here. Now the developer is keep writing the code, okay, and designing and whatever the software he has to write the functions, all the modules, everything he has to write the developers and store the code into the remote repository. So the remote repository is the source code management, right? You are going to use the GitHub. We already have the class finished for Git and GitHub. Git is being used for local repository and GitHub is for remote repository. Okay, so the codes, and we have to store those things into the remote repository for collaboration, for work collaboration, right? So all the row codes whatever is being written by the developers will be automatically or by pushed manually by the developer to the remote repository. So what happened, all the codes will be available now into the remote repository. So we have to integrate and set up the stuffs in our Jenkins server, so that the codes whenever will be available in the remote repository will be automatically triggered, and the build will start in the Jenkins server. The build and testing and quality check everything will be start by the Jenkins server. If everything goes well, nothing finds, then it will be delivered. Okay, you can automatically deploy or deliver the things. The things can be delivered. The things can be delivered to the things can be delivered either to the server, okay, to the code artifactory where you can store the product, the end product. Always, whenever you build or compile any application, any code, it will generate a binary product. It will generate a binary file, and that binary file will be stored in a in an artifactory that is called your delivery. You want to deliver it, or you can deliver that code to the staging server or to the product, deploy to the production server. Okay, so if it is success, it will be deployed or delivered. If it is failed, if there is a build failure, if there is a unit testing failure, what will happen, that will be notified to a developer. Okay, so the developer will do again the code checks and code fix. Again it will push the code to the remote repositories. Okay, and the same things will automatically again captured and pulled from the GitHub, and Jenkins server will be building again and do the, so the continuously it will be doing the same process again and again. Okay, so so that is the continuous integrations happen here, and after the continuous integration and continuous build is done, the delivery cycle will happen. This is how the Jenkins flow works, and we have to do the entirely this part to set up and integrate all these stuffs into the Jenkins. Today in this class we'll see how we can install. Everything will be done from the scratch, guys. Okay, from starting from the installations, and we'll do into the AWS EC2 instances itself. We'll install everything there itself, and we'll see how we can access the Jenkins server and do further round of integrations. And once we move forward, we'll see integrating other DevOps tools into our Jenkins automation server. So other DevOps tools, your Docker, your Ansible, your Terraform. Okay, what are the tools we are going to learn in our upcoming classes? Those tools, how we'll automate and integrate into our Jenkins server, so that everything, the entire flow, starting from the continuous development to continuous deployment, everything will automate in one package. Okay, so that will cover once we finish those particular topic, because if you are going to integrate Docker into our Jenkins, we should know what is Docker and how to use it. If you are going to integrate Ansible, before that we should know what is Ansible and how to use. Similar for Terraform also. Okay, to know about Jenkins, there are some key terms, and we should know and remember some key terms, that is like job or project. So any automations you are going to do, you have to create a job or project in the Jenkins. Okay, so they all refer to a runnable task that are controlled or monitored by Jenkins. So we are going to create a job, and that job will have all the informations what is required for the task to be executed. Okay, what needs to be done, a project or a job. Now is executor who will execute the job, right? Who will execute the job. That executor is a separate stream of builds to be run on node in parallel. A node can have one or more executors. So when we'll go to see that node and master slave architecture, that time I'll explain you what exactly node. And one more thing, this Jenkins actually works in the master and slave architecture. That's called master node architecture or master slave architecture. So remember guys, in which server the Jenkins is installed, that server is called your master server. Okay, master server, and the other server where the build will be performed or build will be executed, those servers will be your node server or slave servers. Okay, so we'll see all these things in details up in upcoming slides. Okay, so don't worry about that. Anything you feel new, just wait for that one to come in the next slides and next upcoming classes. Okay, so the next one will be our build. So build is a result of one of the projects. So when we execute the job or project, it will generate a build, and it what is such build is a result of one of the projects. Okay, and the plugins. So as Jenkins is a tool or automation server, it requires lots of programs, lots of softwares or plugins to work to do different integrations, different works. So that's why we use plugin. So what is a plugin? A plugin is a piece of software or a program. A plugin is a piece of software or a program. You can write a program, small program, to do a small task, and you can call that as a plugin and can use that program in your Jenkins server to do that particular task. Okay, what it does, it extends the core functionality of the core Jenkins server. So Jenkins server will come with some functionality, will be some limited functionality or so. By default, it will have some functionality. If you want to extend it, if you want to add more functionality into it, we need the plugins. Okay, it has a varieties of plugins available. You can do whatever you want to integrate. I'll show you how you can do that. Okay, so these are the terms you normally, very simple terms, right? Jobs, executor, build, and plugins you have to know. So as when we start working on this tool, all these things will encounter, and that time I'll explain more on the these key terms. Okay, now let's see, this is what about the Jenkins theoretical guys. There are not much to learn, so we'll see on upcoming slides what are the more details about each components. Okay, that time I'll just have brief about those components detailed. Okay, now let's see how we can install the Jenkins. So initially what I told, Jenkins is totally and entirely written in Java. It is a Java application. That's why we must need Java to be installed first before we install Jenkins server. We need the Java to be installed first. So if you don't have a Java installed, it may throw some exception or error while installing the Jenkins server in your machine. Okay, so minimum Java 7 is required, but recommended is Java 8. So if you have Java 8 or 11, that's good to work on, because Java 7 and lower, Java 7 is okay, but Java 6 or lower it not work. And it also has some exceptions, like for few like Java versions, but Java 8 and Java 11, that works perfectly. Okay, so I'll show you how to install. So you have to just go to the jenkins.io. Jenkins.io, that is their official web page. Okay, official web page. You can see here one old man is standing here, and this is how the logo looks like, Jenkins logo. Okay, and if you see the diagram here also, I have this Jenkins logo. One old man is sitting here, sorry, standing here, but they have now put a flag over here. Earlier the flag was not there, and they stop what they have put, they stop the word something they have written here, right? So it's okay. So what Jenkins build great things at any scale. The leading open source automation server, Jenkins provides hundreds of plugins to support building, deploying, and automating any projects. Okay, so it supports hundreds of plugins, even thousands of plugins, I could say, to support the building, deploying, and automating any project you want to do. Okay, so here the options, if you want for a documentation, is not required. It obviously don't need now, but whenever I just finish the Jenkins, better you have a look on the documentations, because it will have some piece of other informations whatever I could not give you, which you can get it from the documentation, because the documentation for everything, for whatever things you learn, documentation is the most important things in your learning path. Okay, you have to follow the documentation all the time. Now, so let's go ahead and download. Click on this download page here, and you will have some stable release and downloading Jenkins. All the options will be available here. So based on your operating system, you have to choose whatever things you are going to install. So here download Jenkins for 2.34 stable version. Okay, so what 2.346.2, and here 2.360 to the latest version, and this is one is the LTS light stable version. Okay, so what happened here, they have different say generic Java package, that .war file. You will simply download this war file and install in your machine, right? You can directly just deploy this. See how the war file works, as it is a Java application, and again it is a web based application, guys. It is a web based tool, and that is why it is a war file, .war file. If it is a desktop applications or standalone application, it will be .jar file, .jar .jar file. Okay, .jar file. So it cannot be happen. So we need a web server to deploy the war file, so that what will happen, it will create our web application. Okay, and it has different installations for Docker, for Ubuntu, for CentOS. Okay, and all these options are available here. Okay, now let's go ahead, and because the CentOS, Fedora, and Red Hat is mostly the organizations, they prefer these operating systems, even the Ubuntu also, right? For Windows, if you are going to install on your laptop, you can do Windows installations also, but I would prefer and suggest you to use the EC2 instances to install and do practices, so that you will have good hands on your on the AWS services as well, right? You have Mac OS, Gentoo, FreeBSD, and all these operating systems. Now let's go ahead and choose CentOS, and it has these options to install. So before that, let me quickly go ahead and switch a server. Okay, and I need to install the Jenkins into that server. So what I need CentOS. Okay, so far whatever EC2 instances we had created only Amazon Linux. If you want to search for anything Ubuntu, you can search for Ubuntu, and you can get the free tier if you are going to select any Ubuntu operating systems. Okay, Linux operating system. Suppose I'll show you in the CentOS. Just go ahead, search for CentOS. So you'll not find anything in the quick start, so go to the AWS marketplace. Okay, from the AWS marketplace we can get this CentOS with updated SVM. So it says free tier available, CentOS 6, and this is CentOS 7 and CentOS 8. So I'll go with this Saint OS 7. Sometimes what will happen, this OS is having some um, issues while installing something, right? So don't get confused, and don't get frustrated in the first installation. See, first thing, you have to keep patience. Whenever you are learning something new or into the DevOps or cloud, you have to keep patience, because you will encounter enormous of errors and bugs whenever you are doing settings and working on that. So don't lose your patience, okay? Just keep patience and start doing it. Just keep doing it, okay? You'll get success. I'll show you how many times, because see, in our project, whatever we are doing, even we are working on Jenkins every day, Jenkins server, for building a project, we used to do almost around more than hundreds failures, more than hundreds build. So to get a one success, we'll have multiple failures, and to get that failures, we'll see what exactly happened, where we have done the mistakes, whether the mistake or the build error is due to the developmental error or the DevOps engineer, whatever you have written the code, whether the that automation error, right? You have to see and fix it, and then again build it. So you'll not believe, you'll get encounter minimum, I cannot say minimum, n number of, it's up to you. If you are good enough and expertise in some things, you can write the code and build it within 10 or 15 build, your code will be success. Sometimes you will be encountering lots of errors, because you'll be adding more features into the automations, right? That time you have to rebuild your automations, scripts and all, right? That time you have to encounter all these issues, but don't worry, I'll show you how you can fix that also, okay? Now let me choose quickly the CentOS 7. Let's go ahead and select, continue. So we'll install Java, we'll install Git, we'll install Maven, okay? Okay, so we'll see what are the build tools also it will be keep using, right? So let me use the free tier. There are lots of things we are going to learn. So I'm going to default. Let's just increase the size to, let it be 10. Okay, it should be okay. Now let's go ahead and now I can make it as Jenkins server. I can create one for Jenkins, like Jenkins, okay? uh, Security group SG. Got it. Now remember, Jenkins runs the default port on 8080. Jenkins run on a default port 8080. So what we have to do, we have to give firewall access or whitelist the port 8080. So you have to do, write the custom TCP, as it's a TCP protocol, you have to give 8080. Okay, make it public so that everyone can access it, right? Now review and launch. So again, I'll just add another one, which is that HTTP, because I'm going to deploy few more applications to run, right? HTTP applications or any um, applications which will be required, let it be there. So let me remove this PV6 and launch. So it will take few seconds to launch. This is CentOS, totally different than Amazon Linux, okay? So just wait for some time. It's just creating the security group, authorizing the inbound rules, verifying all these things. So once it is ready, it will be created. Okay. So it's taking quite more time. So everything is successful in setting the launches now. Good. The instances are now launching. Go ahead and view instances. So Jenkins server is pending state. Just refresh it. So that's why I told compared to Amazon Linux, it will take quite more time to get launched and get initialized everything and start running. Okay, so keep patience on that. So it's still pending. Okay, so it is now started running. Let me get the IP address quickly. Okay, let's grab the IP address here, public IP. Let me connect. I'm going to show you the installation from the scratch. Okay, ssh-i, and the user for CentOS is CentOS. So far we are using EC2-user for Amazon Linux. Okay, for CentOS machine you have to use CentOS default user. It's getting stuck at the rate. What happened at the rate? Okay, IP address here. Yes. Okay, so you can see here we can able to connect to the CentOS machine now. Let me clear the screen. Okay, so let's update the operating system before we do any installations. So what we can do, use sudo yum. So the yum will be the same package manager for CentOS and Red Hat machine. Okay, yum is the same package manager. So I can just use update. Yes, so it will take quite some times to update. Okay, so how many? It has 4 updates, so it is updating 4 now, and all these packages, wow, there are 22 total. So it's 22. These packages are getting updated. Okay, just wait for a few seconds here. That says 43 here. Okay, there will be some. Okay, why 43? Because it's updating, installing, and then cleaning off everything it does.
Sir, is it cleaning the older version?
Yes, exactly. After updating it, it is cleaning the older version. So you can see here, it is just updating it, those things, and then what happens, it is installing only this kernel, which was the latest version or was not available. I think it is just installing this version of this library, and then cleaning of whatever things old is installed, that updated and all. It's just cleaning of everything. Okay, so the operating system will be updated. So can anybody tell why we are doing this update and all? And remember, you cannot do this updation in your organization immediately. You don't have to do this. This is for our demo and development server, and we are just updating the server before you're installing anything. I'm showing you from the scratch. But the deployment server, we never do blind updates. we only update the libraries or binaries, whatever is required we get it and update it, not the entire operating system, not the entire kernel. Okay, be careful, and those things you may get questions uh, if the nature of work or nature of interview is totally related to automations with the productions support and productions operations background, they may ask you the questions on related to this, how you update your softwares in DevOps, right? Those things you don't directly say we do update and all. No, it does not like that. Okay, it does not work like that. So what we do, we get the appropriate version from the binary repo, and we'll have a different vault, right? Different software house where all our softwares will be stored there, and we need those details, that particular version, which library or binary need to be updated. Then by using those we update it. Okay, and for update also we don't directly do in weekdays. It will be some downtime will be there, some weekends activity, that kind of activity will be there. Are lots of other procedure like change management, incident management, all the stuffs will be there, all the service ITL process they follow, right? The service delivery process they follow, and then they will do install in the productions. There are lots big process. Okay, those who are into relate into support background, they can understand this concept. Fine. So now go to the things. Okay, it's updated here. Just follow the steps whatever is given into the Jenkins space. So to use this repository, run the following commands. Okay, so the first what we have to do, if you have previously imported the key from the Jenkins RPM have an import, will fail because you already have a key. Please ignore that and move on. So what we'll do, we'll simply first install the Java 8 or 11. Okay, Java 8 or 11. So what we'll need, first what we do, first download the repo. First download the repo. So let me just explain this command. So sudo, that is a super user do sudo. Okay, that means super user, we are making ourselves root to execute this command. And wget is a command to download and fetch any object or anything from the URL you specify, from the web server, from any server. If you want to download anything, you have to use the wget command. And you can see here, I'm just going to download this Jenkins repo from this server. See, my Jenkins repo is available on this server, pkg.jenkins.io red hat stable. Okay, I'm going to get this repo and storing in etc slash yum.repos.d, that is the daemon directory, and this daemon directory will executed automatically in the backend. Okay, so I'll just explain you later on these daemon things, because we are going to work more on daemon things in our different automations tools. Okay, the first thing is says wget command itself not found. So let's first install this wget command. So how we can install is, you can use sudo yum install wget. If you are encountering this wget command not found, then you can install wget again. First install wget, so it will just quickly install it. Completed. Now execute the command, wget command. See, it is now downloaded the file. So if I go to this folder, we'll see our jenkins.repo will be there. See, our jenkins.repo there. Okay, now what we'll do, next step is to use RPM package manager to import the Jenkins key. Okay, to import the Jenkins key. So we need the Jenkins key to be imported so that we can use in this package or in this repo to open and install it. Okay, so let's go ahead, get the key. Okay, so what we need, everything is done. We have not yet installed anything, we just downloaded the repo, we just imported the key, Okay, now just install the Java 11 Open JDK. Java 11 Open JDK. So what we can do, we can use sudo yum install Java 11 Open JDK -y. So it is installing now. Okay, just wait for a few seconds. Completed. Okay, now it's time to install Jenkins. Simple commands we have to now use. Okay, so we have to use. So here you can see here, just YAML install Jenkins. Use sudo yum install Jenkins. Yes. Total 87 MB package. Okay, and this is the version 2.346.2 1.1. So our Jenkins is now installed. Good. Okay, now if and to see whether the Jenkins has installed successfully or not, you can use system ctl, okay, status Jenkins, sorry, spelling mistake here, status, so it is inactive. Okay, so you can use systemctl, system controls status Jenkins to check the status. Now let me start the Jenkins server. So we have installed Java, that is the first thing you have to install. So we install Java 11. Now we can start the Jenkins by using here it has, I think, not given how to start it. So we can simply start using systemctl start Jenkins. Okay, so what happens? Authenticating using root. So we should use sudo systemctl. Let me terminate this. Use sudo to start the Jenkins server. Sudo. Okay, so it will take few seconds to start the Jenkins server. What up? Okay, so the system, it is installed now. Let's see the status. Okay, our Jenkins service is running. Our Jenkins service is running. Now, how to access this Jenkins server? How to access the Jenkins server? Just grab this IP address. Okay, put it in your browser, and as I told, the default port of a Jenkins server is 8080. Okay, so we can do 8080 here. If installation is done, you'll get this page. Okay, if installation is successful, you'll get this page. So what it says, we have to first unlock the Jenkins. To unlock the Jenkins, we have to get the admin password. So where we can get this password? We can get this password in this secrets folder. Okay, and this is the file name, initial admin password. Get the entire string copied. Okay, go to your server, Jenkins server. Go to your Jenkins server where you have installed Jenkins. Just do cat the file name here. So permission denied, so you have to use sudo. Whenever you see any permission denied, use sudo. Okay, and use cat. So here is the admin password. Okay, copy this admin password, go ahead, admin paste it here, continue. See, the first thing is customize the Jenkins. So what will happen? So plugins extended Jenkins with additional features to support many different needs. So either you can select the plugins manually, one whatever things you need, or you can let Jenkins decide and install the default and suggested plugins. So I'll go with suggested plugin, and then I'll go with selected plugins whatever we need. So both way we can see how it is can be done. So first let's go with install suggested plugins. Click on this, and you can see here these are the suggested and default plugins which are getting installed in your Jenkins server. This will be installed in your Jenkins server. So what are installing folders? These are the plugins: timestamper, pipeline, Git plugin, LDAP, and workspace cleanup, SSH, email extension, and okay, Gradle. All these pipelines, all these things are getting now installed. So as we'll move on, I'll also show you how we can install selected plugins as per our need. Okay, so whatever we need, we'll immediately go ahead and select the plugin and install it. I'll show you everything how we can do it. Just be focused, okay, whatever I'm doing, and see, this is the time you will just remember everything, and immediately after the class, do whatever things I have done. Follow this recorded session. If you feel something you missed it, go to the recording session and find it out and do it immediately. Okay, you start doing it now. Once you love it to do it is actually fun. Automation actually fun. If you enjoy it, you'll take it to the extra milestone you can achieve it. It is actually fun. Automations, if you go inside in and go deeply, you'll see whatever things you are doing it, right? And you'll get the result. It will be amazing. So just wait for a few seconds. It will install all the plugins. I'll just go through and I'll show you how this look like the Jenkins. Okay. Okay, by the time it is getting installed, so okay, only one. Okay, it's almost done. Good. So now you have to set off the first admin user. So you have to, whatever the user you have to first create, it will be your admin user. So let me give the admin user as Ranjit for Jenkins. What happened here? Ranjit for Jenkins. I'll give the password. Email address, it's up. So this will be your admin email address, any that you have to put it to get any kind of notifications related to your Jenkins server. Okay, so give the admin user admin email ID whatever you are using. Okay, you can use this one. Save and continue. So now it gives, this is the URL, Jenkins URL to use it. We already have used this Jenkins URL. So you can save this Jenkins URL, and you can see here it is IP address, right? One single IP address is given here. You'll be seeing like the companies that don't have this IP address, they will have their domain name. Okay, suppose you have a domain name called, my name is Ranjit, I have a domain called ranjitswine.com, right? It will have ranjitswine.com :8080, then it will open the Jenkins server there. So that companies, they use the domain name. Okay, there will be a big domain name and they'll be using, and you don't get confused on that. Okay, so here as we are using EC2 instances for our demonstrations, we are using the IP addresses. Also, I'll show you how we can use the domain name also, right? Save and finish. Start using Jenkins. So Jenkins is ready now. Start using Jenkins. Good. So this, now we are landed into our Jenkins dashboard. This is our Jenkins server. So as I told, Jenkins is a web-based application, web-based automation server, or web application or web tool. So we can access this only through the web browser. Okay, so here let me log out. We'll get this page. You can guys also just type 52.66.16.21 in your browser, and you will also able to see this Jenkins, because I have publicly shared the IP address, right? So if you can just click this one, you'll get Jenkins on your laptop also, right? Fine. Now Jenkins is installed. Now let me close this. If you want to use the domain name, the DNS name, you can, or the host name, simply get the public DNS name here, right? Copy this one, simply copy this one, go ahead, paste it here, colon 8080. See, this is the domain name and this is 8080, right? We can able to connect. Now let's give the user ID, password, sign in. See, we can able to connect to our Jenkins server. Okay, now you can see this dashboard, quite good, clean dashboard. You can see it here, nothing is there. Now let me just explain the features, how to use this tool, and how to go ahead and create our jobs. So first let's go to the dashboard. On left hand side you can see here we have the new item. Okay, we have this new item, we have people, we have build history, we have manage Jenkins, my views, new view, and lot more other tasks in the sidebar also. We'll keep adding when we add or install new plugins. Okay, first today I'll just go across for the administration part of the Jenkins, how you'll set up the Jenkins entirely for your work. Let's go. You don't have to go anywhere. First go to the manage Jenkins. You can see here the manage Jenkins. Go to this manage Jenkins, and here what we need, we have to go ahead and see. If you go to the manage Jenkins, you will see a lot of options available here. So in the system configurations, we are going to work on each and every part. Okay, don't worry, one after another will cover. Configure system, global tool configuration, manage plugins, where you can manage the plugins, extra plugins you can add and install and remove, everything we can do using manage plugins. Manage nodes, that means the slave and architecture, when we cover, right, master slave architecture, that we need this manage node setup. And security part, we'll see where to store our credentials and all, and how we can manage users to provide accesses. Okay, and the system information, system logs and everything, so we can see it here. Okay, so that's all. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, before going for any installations, so what we need the softwares to be installed. Okay, the softwares to be installed. So I think I have installations Jenkins guide here, so just wait for a few seconds. So let it open. Okay, I have this documentations actually prepared for CentOS, and everything is there, and here it is being used Java 1.8, but I used Java 11. I installed Java 11, right? One second. Now what will happen here, so Java installations is done. Now there are few setups you have to do it. You have to set off the home directories and all. Okay, for that you need the Java home to be set off to work properly. Okay, so how we'll do that? If I go here and use echo dollar java underscore home, nothing is set up now. Okay, so if I go to this user leave jvm, so we first need to know where our java is installed, right? So if I do which which java, so it will give us the directory where java executables available. Okay, so if I go here cd user bin, lots of executables are there, and we have also one executables available here, but I'm not going to use this one. So what I'll do, I'll use to go cd user leave, okay, and we'll have one jvm also which is installed. Okay, cd jvm. Good. Now we'll see here our java 11 in this jvm, java virtual machine. Jvm is meant for java virtual machine, which is installed in this folder. All this available in this folder. Okay, now what I need this to be set off in the environment variables to be exported. So I can use the command export in Linux, but you know in Windows how to set up the environment variables, right? In the Windows you have to go to the start button, that search for environment variable, you'll get a environment variable pan, and there you have to add the path. I think everyone from you might have done some little bit set of the environment variable setups in your Windows machines, right? It is quite easy. Just copy the path where you have installed the Java and go to the Windows path, and there you do setups. Okay, now what you do, just get the path where your executables will be available. Suppose JRE11 OpenJDK, this is what I need for my Java home. Okay, so what I'll do, I can simply use the command export java underscore home equal to, just give the path. Okay, so what is the path? So let's get the path here. So you just do the pwd. Okay, again write this export and copy this path slash, give this one jre 11 OpenJDK. So if we don't know, JRE is Java Runtime Environment and JDK is Java Development Kit. Okay, so and JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So I'm not going to teach you Java here. So just term to remember. Okay. So I just exported Java home here. Now the same things we have to just execute it in the home path. Okay, so before doing that, if I do echo dollar path, so this is the current path. Now I'm going to add this path in my path in the Linux machine. So what I'm going to do, use export, right? And what you do, simply whatever I had copied, I just paste it here. Export path, the path, right? I'm just adding into the Java home and slash bin. In this folder we'll have a bin directory also, and then entire path. So if I do echo path now, we'll see this Java things also being added. See, JVM 11 OpenJDK bin. Now if I go to this folder, and we'll have another folder called bin. See, and this is where our Java executables will be available. Good. So it is completely clear now how to set up the JVM. Now, so installation of Jenkins is already done. So I'm not going to show you now. Okay, so this is all the steps I have given. I'll share this documentation with you. Okay, now let's install Git. So we need the Git in our Jenkins automations class. Okay, so let's install the Jenkins. It is very clear to install it. So just use sudo yum install git. That's all. It will install Git for you. Okay, it will install Git for you. Done. Let's see Git hyphen version. So this is the Git version installed here. Okay, fine. Now what do we need? We need a build tool. Okay, Jenkins is a build configuration tool or build tool, right? We need build a management tool, and it is an automation server. So we need a build tool to build the project. So we have to remember, guys, and be focused. Whatever the build tool you need based on your project. Suppose you have a Java project, then you need either Ant, Maven, or Gradle to build your project in Jenkins. If you are using .NET projects, if your application is a .NET application, Windows application, so what you need? You need MS Build. Instead of Maven, you need MS Build to install. Okay, and if you are using some Python, other Python applications, or any other applications for that particular applications, you need the respective build tool to be installed or to be used in the plugin. So I'll show you how you can use the plugins also. Okay, now to install this Maven, it is very easy to do that, guys. I'll just simply copy paste the things whatever is given here to save the time. Okay, I'm just going to cd/opt directory here. Okay, and then downloading the Maven zip file here. This is the tar file which will having the, simply I used again wget to download the tar file. So the file, Apache file, is downloaded, and then we need to untar it. So the command to untar is tar hyphen xvf. Okay, xvzf. So you, as it is a tar file, tar and like the archived file, so we have to unarchive it, right? Untar it. So using this tar command, using hyphen xvzf, I am untarring it to the Apache folder. Okay, so done. If I go here, we'll have two folders now. This is the archive folder and this is the unarchived folder. This is the file, this is the archived file, okay, tar file, and this, after untarring, I got this file name. Okay, now what I need, I don't want this big name. For that, what I can do, I can just rename this to a smaller one. So I can use sudo mb rename a folder, okay, or file, give the file name as Maven. I'll make it shorter one. So just, it's a big name, I just rename it to Maven. So I don't need this tar file anymore. Let me delete it. I can use rm command to remove the file, as it is under root, so it will not allow you to delete it. So we have to use sudo again, sudo deleted. Okay, now if I do ls-l here, we have only one Maven folder. Cool. So now let's go ahead and use what we need, guys. I just showed you to export, okay, to export the Java 11 by manually using the export command. But sometimes what happen, you reboot the systems or terminated the terminal, the export and set of environment variable whatever you have done, it will also go away, it will not be there. So to make it permanently available, we have to write a small script and put it there into the daemon directory. Whenever you reboot your machine, it will automatically reload the environment variables for you. Okay, so what I can do here, so same things, I'll just give you an example here. If I go here, echo java underscore home, it gives us the openjdk path, right? It gives us the openjdk path. Now I need this openjdk path here. So let me see again. We are going to create this file under this profile.d directory and giving just a name, maven environment.ss. It's up to you what name you give. It's not like that you have to give maven So I'm just copying here, just paste it here, .sh. Okay, etc directory profile D is a directory, and maven.env.sh is a shell script I'm going to prepare. Okay, and in this shell script I'm going to put this file details, everything. Let me just copy here the path, and just copy the entire things. Okay, let me just explain here the same thing. I'm just exporting here m2 underscore home is the maven home directory, that is opt maven, where maven is installed, and after that I'm just exporting and adding that into the main path. Okay, similarly for Java also I'm adding this one for the Java as well. Just remove this and add 11 OpenJDK. Done. Right, now save it. So it is not Java 11, it is JRE 11 OpenJDK. Okay, save it. So let me go and do again, verify it is JRE or Java. So it is, we have JRE, and we have this one also, but it has a big name. Let me just go to this directory here. We'll have also same bin folder. Yes, the same purpose also, it will not cost. Okay, fine, same thing. Now let's clear it everything. What I'll do here, I'm going to just add the configuration. Now I installed the softwares whatever we need it. We installed the Java. We need we did set off the Java home directory. We did just installations of Maven, Git, and everything. If I go to this etc folder and profile dot d, here we have this Maven env.sh file, script file is created, and we need to make sure this should be executable, or it's fine if you don't do executable also, but better you do executable to execute it. Okay, so let's use chmod. I can use 7 sorry 755. Okay, sudo, again we have to use under sudo. Okay, now let's check. So it is now executable. Okay, I added x here, executable. Now you can see maven.sh is executable. Else let me exit from the server. If I log in back here, okay, if I do echo underscore java underscore home, we still see here is available. Okay, so we have to make sure maven env.sh should be available there. In you have to put in the profile.d, so the daemon will automatically run this script. Okay, now what we'll do here, so all setup has now done, the required setup has now done. So if I do now maven version to check, ambient hyphen version, it will give you the maven version, which maven version is installed. Okay, the maven has set up successfully. So everything, all installations on the server is done. Okay, now what we'll need, let's go ahead and see the plugins. What are the plugins we do, and what are the global tool configurations we have to do. So all these things we have done the installation so far. Now let's go ahead in the system configurations. Just look carefully here. In the system configurations, we have to just use configure system. Here lots of administrative stuff you have to do it. Okay, now you can see uh, home directory of the Jenkins. So by default, Jenkins stores all its data in this directory on the file system. So if you go to the configured system, there will be a questions where you can find the directory where you can store all the Jenkins related data. You can go to the configured system and you can find the directory here. All the workspace and project related stuffs will be stored guys here. Okay, I'll show you in details when we create the project and build it. Now the system message, if you want to provide any system message, you can provide it. And you can see here, I was talking about the executors who will execute and help to execute the build or the job, right? So it's a runnable task which will be executed or built. The It's a task or process, you can say. So here number of executors are 2. You can see here build executor starts 1 2 and both are idle state. So what is this executors? One server can have multiple executors or can have one executor also. So what executor will do, whenever a build comes, the executor will take that build and will execute. Suppose this master server, this Jenkins, where the Jenkins is installed, that will be your master server. Okay, and this master server is having 2 executors. That means how many build it can execute, guys? It can execute 2 builds, right? It can execute 2 builds because it has 2 executors. Okay, if we need more build to be executed parallelly or simultaneously, you can give suppose 4 5. And you cannot blindly create the executors. To create the executors, you have to be confident and have to make sure you have the appropriate resources available on the server. Appropriate resources means you should have that level of processors, like you should have the appropriate memory. Suppose you need your applications takes around you have suppose a 5 GB of memory, and your application itself 1 or 2 build itself takes 5 GB of memory. All memory gets consumed and the CPUs gets overloaded. If you add 3 more other executors, it will halt down the system. Okay, the system will break down, it will not work properly, it will slow down everything. Okay, so you have to give the executor based on the resource availability. And this labels usage, all these things will learn in our master slave architecture and labeling. That time I'll just show you these labels and usage. And this is the Jenkins URL. You can find the Jenkins URL and system admin email address. It is given nowhere, so we can just write it here. I can give Ranjit, that's why. As so you have to give the system admin email address here. So I'm giving you all the information from the scratch, starting from administration part to the development part to the support part. Everything I'll show you in the Jenkins, so you'll get expertise level of experience, so that you can easily show in the market that you have already experience in the Jenkins. Okay, so but you have to be entertaining and do practice. Now resource root URL is not required, and global properties, let it be blank for the time being, and all these things leave it. Build timeout is not required on the GitHub servers. When we work on the GitHub, we'll add it. So all rest of the things, leave it as it is. Okay, and this email, we have a separate class for the email setups. That time I'll show you how to set up the email notifications, that user email notifications, like whether you have to send email to a developer or send email to a DevOps engineer, right? Those email setups you can do it here. And that's all. Go ahead and save and apply. You can see here that could be two, that also there could be interview questions. Okay, what is this 2 button does? Save and apply. Okay, so what this 2 button does, if you do save, okay, what it does, it save and come out, save and come out. If you do apply, what will do, it will just save and be there in the same page. So we'll see it again. So go to manage Jenkins. Okay, configuration system. So just give some message here. Hello Jenkins, something, apply. So what it does, it's just saved. You can see here, it's just saving and being in the same page. Okay, if you're going to modify anything, you can still modify and apply it. If you have done all these things, you can save and exit. Click on the save, it will exit out here, okay, from the window. That's what. Now go to manage Jenkins. So we are good with configure system. We have to still let to know when we move forward. Then let's go ahead and set up the global tool configurations. I'll go with this global tool configurations today, and then next we'll cover manage plugins and all. So just global tool configurations, okay. Here just you have to give all the configurations whatever we have done. So this maven configurations, jdk, git, okay, gradle and maven, by default all this plugin whatever we had installed, everything is there here, right? So we have to do this global configurations now. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up the jdk first. If you're going to build any Java related applications, all these things, this JDK should be installed or should be added into the Jenkins global tool configurations. That means why the global tool configuration? So whatever the tool you will set up here, everything will be accessible, all the projects globally within the Jenkins. Okay, now let's go ahead and add JDK. Okay, so we just give a JDK, like I can say here local, or I can say here, okay, local Java underscore Java, local underscore Java. So I don't need install automatically. If you select or install automatically, what will happen? It will install again Java on this machine and set off these details. I don't need Java to install again. So Java underscore home. So give the path where the Java is installed and you have done the setups, right? So I can just do echo path to get, sorry, so it should be echo dollar path, okay, so dollar path, and I need this path to be copied and pasted here. Okay, what it says, user leaves JVM JRE11 open JDK is not look like a JDK directory. So if it is not a real JDK directory, it will throw error. So you have to fix it. Go to this directory again and find which is the correct directory should be placed there. CD and search for the Java. So it says it's not the correct directory. So I think we can give this one, and you can rename this also if you want. I can simply put it here. OpenJDK user does not look like a JDK directory. Okay, so Java 11. We have to provide the JDK directory here. Okay, so it gives does not look like a directory here. That means we have installed something which is let me check the path, 1 second. I think we have also installed, okay. Let's install the JDK. The JDK was not, we had installed only the so install Java OpenJDK devel. Let's install OpenJDK devel also. Let's see whether it is there available or not. Sudo yum install Java 11 OpenJDK devel. Sorry, sudo yum install. Yes. Okay, so I missed this JDK to be installed. That is why it is not taking the JDK one. Now if I go to user, Vim, okay, and JVM will have the, sorry, not bin, it is live library, live, okay. Now if I go here, we'll have this Java OpenJDK here, okay. We have our Java 11 OpenJDK. Copy this one, okay. Go to this directory here, put it here. See, this is one the executable one. So you should install this OpenJDK also. I'll share this documentations, okay, because it has everything. I have prepared this documentation for the installations. Just follow the process. So install the OpenJDK JRE first, and the OpenJDK JDK, we have to install the JDK. So we had installed only the 11 JRE, but we did not install the 11 JDK. That's why it was not showing. Now we install the JDK. It is fine. Now let's go ahead and add Git here. This global tool configurations, we have to add the Git here. Give a name. So like we can give as local underscore Git, and you don't have to specify anything, only you have to give Git here, only you have to give Git, that's all. And go ahead and select add Maven here. I don't need automatically to install. Give a name local underscore Maven, okay, and just give a Maven path. You know it is very well, we have kept in opt Maven, okay. So if I go here cd opt Maven, opt will have this Maven available here, okay. Just give opt Maven. Now last save and exit. So we have set of few global tools also, and this manage plugins, what it does, it will manage the plugins, like for any installation or on installations you can do. So we have done few global tool configurations. We'll do others when we do other kind of projects, and when we need to be installed, we'll install and fix it in the global tool configuration. And you know why we need this to set up in the global tool configurations, okay. Now go to the manage plugins, and you will see here we have these tabs available: updates, available, installed, and advanced. So updates means what are the plugins are need to be updated, it will display here. And available server, what are the plugins available and you need to install, you will get it from this available page. And what are the plugins are already installed, you'll find it over here, you'll find it over here, okay. All these are installed already. Now to install a plugin, what you'll do, click on this available here, search for the plugin which you need to install, okay. Suppose I want to install anything like I'll search for Blue Ocean. I'll tell you what is this Blue Ocean actually. Search for Blue Ocean, okay. Okay, there are a lot of things for Blue Ocean, so let's go ahead, search for this Blue Ocean aggregator, okay. So just go ahead, I'm just giving you example how to install it. Select what of the plugins you will install. Go here, we'll have two options: install without restart and download now and install after restart. So it's up to you what you want choose, but again it depends, and because you cannot directly install without sorry, download and now and install after restart. So you can, what you'll do, simply download now and you'll not install it. So when you restart your server, it will be installed, because we cannot install immediately and restart it, because there will be multiple users, multiple DevOps engineers will be working on the Jenkins, right? So they will be using. So if you restart it, what will happen, the Jenkins server will not be available for them, and there whatever the things they are building, that might crash, okay. You should not use it to do that. Now I can just use install without restart. I'll not restart the server, but the plugin will be installed. Now you can see here, good, wow, success, everything is success, but there are a few things are pending to be installed. So it will take few seconds to install all these plugins, okay. This is the plugin we selected one, but what it does, it just the install the dependency plugins as part of the core plugin. Okay, so it will install all the plugins, dependency plugin first, and then install it. So it will quite good. So it is installing everything very quickly. So you can see here dashboard for a blue ocean. So okay, let me tell you what is this blue ocean and why I just showed you. This blue ocean actually one of the user interface aggregator. What it will do, it will show you a dashboard of your project, whatever the project you are building, and the complete step, complete task, stages, each part, everything will show you with a beautiful dashboard, and that dashboard will help you to identify and debug any issues happened. Okay, that's why I just installed it. I'll show you where it will be there. Right now, so restart Jenkins when installation is complete and no jobs are running. So if you see there are no jobs are running and your installation is done, you can simply click on this. What it will do, it will restart your Jenkins server. And if you don't, you just go to the top page and you can use the Jenkins. Now if you want to click on this, you will see it will automatically restart. You should not restart it. I'm showing you, if you click, it will automatically restart. So now what it does, my Jenkins is now restarting. So after restart, we can just, even though if you don't restart also, the plugin will reflect, the plugin will reflect there. Okay, but I just click on the restart, it is just restarting the Jenkins server. Okay, so let it restart. Okay guys, so what we'll do today, just go home, try to install. There are not much theoretical to learn, to just understand what exactly the Jenkins, to answer the questions when somebody asks you, but you should know how to install and set off from the scratch. Okay, and if you go to you actually not necessarily to install the Jenkins if you are going to join in a company, because the company will have already Jenkins server running from years back, and you just go there and start using the Jenkins to automate the stuff. But I am showing you from the scratch, in case you joined a startup company and they'll tell you to install from the scratch and start working and migrate their automations, migrate their servers, so you should know how to use that. Okay, that's why I'm just telling you. Now just use Ranjit for Jenkins here, and if I log in here, now you can see here beautiful icon comes, color icon, right? Open blue ocean. So you'll get open blue ocean here, and it will show you a quite good dashboard. Okay, it will not work because we don't have any project set up now. It will not show you the dashboard correctly. So when we set up the project, that time I'll show you everything. So for you, the task is do practice today, install the Jenkins. Tomorrow I'll show you how to create first project, both different ways of creating projects, guys. There are automations, so I'll show you how to do that. Okay, first create the Jenkins. I'll share the documents right away after the class is over, videos and documentation. You can follow that and install whatever you want. If you have any doubt or anything, you can just WhatsApp me, ping me, so that I can guide you immediately. If you're encountering any issues in the installations. Okay, also do install in the EC2 instances. Don't install in your laptop. Sometimes it will slow down your applications and it will not work properly. You'll get lots of firewall issues and networking issues and all, right? Okay guys, see you. So the time is almost